They are taking our kids every day. I shout them in and no one has a thing to say for those who have been isolated. Don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeves. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, God damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up like thin tags. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. So give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows and the only games you play are on Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher warrior, and we cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stop it. Whoa, whoa.
All right, what's up, everybody?
Hey.
Happy Monday.
Yeah.
It's our Monday.
Yeah, it's our Monday.
It's our Monday. So we expect things to be sub-average. It's gonna happen on a Monday.
Yeah.
So what's going on? What do we got?
Well,
we got my client Susan. Yeah, who was here? I don't know where she went.
She's still here.
Okay.
Good. Yep, she's here. Are you ready to bring out Susan?
Yeah, she can come out.
You want to give a little
I'm a little.
on here?
She's been fighting CPS for a couple years now, has done everything, and they're supposed to be doing a reunification, as in she's supposed to come home next month, but I guess there's some issues with it, and she wanted to talk to us about the issues.
See what we can do.
So this case has been open for a year now. We went the first 6 months, did everything they said, but they didn't do the reunification. So I figured when we went back to court, well, then I got a message from my attorney, who never contacts me, that when we went to court, they were going for termination. And I asked under what grounds, because we've done everything that we're supposed to do, literally everything. We haven't skipped anything. And he said, well, he kind of skipped over that and was like, well, we're going to ask for an extension. And I said, I don't understand why we need an extension. We're doing everything we're supposed to do. Well, we go into court and my lawyer quits, and I get another attorney who steps in. My fiance, he's sick with the flu or something, but he hasn't seen his attorney through the entire case. We don't even know who his attorney is. He showed up in court. That's the only time he's seen him. He pulled that attorney off the case when we went to court. I told him he needed to stand up and tell the judge that he hasn't talked to that attorney at all. That attorney left. He got another attorney for the next 6 months. We still don't even know who that attorney is. We've called the courts. We've tried to call this guy. Talked to CPS worker, said she sent a message to his attorney. He hasn't been involved at all through the entire thing.
Is this where I say, welcome to West Virginia?
Yeah.
That's where Tiffany's from.
Yeah, well, I am from Virginia, but I ended up here, and jeez, this is a mess. So they opened this other 6
Tiffany
months.
Tiffany said yesterday when I brought that up, why the hell did she go back to West Virginia?
Well, my dad got sick, and I came back to West Virginia to help my dad. But he's doing better, and I just ended up staying here. My oldest 2 girls are in college, and they're both in college in West Virginia, so it just made more sense for me to stay near. And then my youngest one's father, he's never been out of West Virginia, so he has a problem leaving for some reason. But when they opened this other 6 months, my new lawyer told me, don't miss anything, which I haven't missed anything. So I was like, okay, we'll keep doing what we're doing. Well, it's near the end of that 6 months as well. We are still at 4 hours once a week. When I keep asking them to increase, they keep saying we'll get to it the next MDT. They had an MDT Wednesday that I tried to get into. I didn't even find out about the MT. I found out through the visitation lady, because I get my daughter. My daughter comes to my house on Wednesdays, and she called me Tuesday night and said, you know, you have an MDT in the morning. I was like, no, I didn't know that. Thank you so much for telling me. So I reached out to my attorney 100 times, didn't get no answer. Reached out to the CPS worker. Wednesday at 10 o'clock, did the same thing, couldn't get through. I even called the guardian and Litem to let them know, hey, listen, I'm sitting here, I'm trying, nobody will let me in, nobody will call me. Didn't get anything. So then my attorney calls me, of course, after the MDT and tells me that she had court. I said, well, that's great, but I didn't even get a warning and email, nothing about this MDT. And she said, well, the CPS worker was supposed to contact you. I said, well, I've been contacting her since 8 o'clock this morning, and she didn't answer either. So I got into it with my attorney a little bit, because I was like, you know, you're supposed to be fighting for me, not working for them. You're supposed to be doing this. Then she told me she had another phone call and hung up on me.
Wow.
And that's where I'm at. Like, I just don't know what else to do. My therapy, where we go to therapy, because they ordered us to do individual therapy once a week and couples therapy. We do it every week. I found out CPS lied at the MDT we were in the last time. They said that they've been in contact with our therapist and all this. And so when I went to my therapist, and she said, I haven't heard from them except for the email that you asked me to send to them. They haven't even contacted to see if you're doing services. I was like, really? And she said, yes. So she said, I'll write a letter for you to take to court. My parenting lady says the same thing. As she just keeps saying, well, this system's unfair and there's nothing really you can do. They're going to do what they want. And I told her, I'm not going to quit fighting for my daughter, not when I'm doing I have not failed a drug screen in a year. I went to rehab, sober living. I've done everything that they didn't even ask me to do. I just did it. And I've done everything. I've done all the therapy, all the couples therapy, all the parenting. We haven't missed a parenting class. Even when we were sick, we did them over the phone. All the visitation. My daughter comes to my house now every Wednesday and holds the couch or grabs my neck and screams when she has to leave because she says she wants this. And the visitation lady looks at me to get her in the car. And so I told CPS, I said, you're traumatizing this kid every week. When she comes home and she sees, she has to go in her room and she looks at her bed and all of that stuff. And, you know, we tell her that's still yours. And she doesn't want to leave. And I think, and they're not even increasing the visits. So I don't understand how they expect her to come home in a month and a half. And we're still at 4 hours once a week. And I just I don't know where to go from here because I don't know what to do.
Finding a good lawyer would be a great start.
Yeah, the first thing I was going to say is fire your fucking attorney.
Right. Mm.
You need
And
to
then
tell the judge that you're going to go pro se.
Yeah. Then you need to subpoena your therapist. Is the couples therapist the same?
Yeah, my therapist is our couples therapist as well.
And what about your daughter? Does your daughter have a therapist?
No, she's not ordered to do anything. The baby's not. She just comes to visitation. She is with family. She is with his sister. But like even his sister, like for Thanksgiving, his sister was like, "Oh, I'm gonna come and get you guys. You're gonna come to my house for Thanksgiving so you can spend it with Addison." That was the whole plan. Well, that had been the plan for months, and then the CPS worker last minute was like, I didn't get that approved, so you can't do that. And God forbid, I'd seen her for Thanksgiving anyways. I told him I would take the backlash, but I went to his sister's house for Thanksgiving anyways, and nothing was ever said. And I let them know that I was going. And then for Christmas, obviously, I have 2 other daughters, and I wanted them to all do gifts together at my dad's house. On Christmas Eve, I work Christmas Eve just from 7 in the morning till 11. It's 4-hour shifts. And I was going to go pick her up with my dad and take her to my dad is CPS approved. They wanted to leave her with my dad to start with, but my dad just didn't feel like he was strong enough because he has so many health issues. And so then that was a problem. She couldn't stay with me overnight because I don't have overnights yet. But when I went to them, I said, it's your fault I don't have overnights yet. You haven't increased the visits at all. So I'm pretty sure that as of right now, I haven't heard back. I'm going to reach out again tomorrow. But Christmas Eve, I'm still going to stay at my dad's with my older girls. And as far as I know, is the baby's dad has permission to stay at his sister's with her. And then Christmas morning, my oldest daughter is going to go pick up the baby and bring her to my dad's for a couple of hours. And then we're going to go back to his sister's. Now, that's been the plan. But like I said, they changed things on us at last minute. So I don't know if that's going to change or if they're even going to answer me to approve it at this point. That's been supposed to be approved for months, but I haven't. Every time I keep asking them, they won't answer me. So
if everything fails that way, just bring your daughters and your dad over to the sisters because you don't want to take that child out of there. You could actually get kidnapping for it.
Yeah, I know. That's what his sister said. If we have to, just come to her house, which isn't a big deal. It's just that I don't know. I'm really fed up at this point. I don't know where to go to next. So I did tell the attorney that I was not satisfied with her. I told her this when we talked the other day, that I wasn't satisfied with her, what she's been doing. I told her at this point, the other attorney I had was better than she is, because I feel like, So when we were in the courtroom and she came in, I was sitting next to her and she literally was talking to my CPS worker about other people's houses she had to go into to visit with their kids and asking my CPS worker if she was ready to do this and what days they could do it on. And after court, I told her that was completely unprofessional.
Just illegal. You're not supposed to talk about another case.
Oh, she did. They both did about like 5 or 6 other cases. And then, like I said, I've had to get really nasty with her for her to do anything. And so when I told her, I said, I'm really, really interested in finding another attorney. But the problem is I don't have the money to pay for a paid attorney, not with everything I paid
You're
for.
not going to do that. You have Tiffany here. You have me here. You have Darren. You can do this on your own. You can go pro se. I got the handbook for it.
Okay.
You don't need an attorney. You just have to have the backbone to do it. And obviously you do.
Yeah, I do. I've
And
stood
look at
up
what
to
they've done for you already, right? Look at all those people, what they've done for you. They've done nothing. Zip 0 0.
You've done it, most of it by yourself anyway, right?
Yeah, and it's really funny because when my fiance says anything in the MDTs we've been allowed in, they'll literally tell him to shut up. Like they won't let him talk at all. Like they told him to shut.
Who tells them to shut up?
I think it was it was either the CPS worker or the prosecutor. One of them told him to shut up when he was talking.
Oh no! I'd have been like, "Who the fuck are you talking to?" No, we don't shut up. This is freedom of speech, and this is my meeting.
And that's what I told the CPS worker last time. I said, "How are you having these MDT meetings, and we're trying to get in them, and you obviously have your cell phone right there." And you're not letting us in them, and you're having them without us. When we're sitting there trying to get in, how are you having these meetings? I thought they were for the progress of us and the child.
Yes, they are.
She says that we don't have to
And
be
they're
present
gonna-
for the
so- Yes, you do. You do. And they blocking you from that. They're going to say in court that you never showed up when you were trying to show up because they never gave you the date.
Well, I have all the messages, and that's what my CPS worker, I've caught her in so many lies, and right on in front of the prosecutor and everything, and she'll say, no, I didn't. And I'll say, I have every message between me and you from the beginning of this case. You can say what you want, but I've got the messages to prove that you're lying.
Before your next court date, you need to print out those messages, and you need to bring them into court with you.
Okay, I have everything from
That
the
way
very
it
beginning of the
shows.
case. Me trying to
That
get in
way
the
it
meeting.
shows that you were trying. Yeah. Including
Yeah,
your
I mean,
call logs. Make sure you show them.
all
you
the
were
times
trying to
I
get into
called
that
back to
meeting.
back and all that, I have all of that. And I have the
Yep.
same phone from the beginning. So
How old is your daughter?
Yeah, just show.
she's 3. She'll be 4. She'll be 4 in May. She just turned 3 not that long ago. That was another thing. They told us that we could throw her a birthday party, and we were doing it where in Clarksburg, where she is, where his sister is. She was going to be there. We were just throwing her party. Like, we got her cake and everything, and then last minute they told us we couldn't do it. That we could attend her party that they had, but we couldn't throw one. And I said, I wasted all this money after you guys told me that I could throw this party, and now you're telling me I can't, which we didn't end up getting to go.
I would have said, okay, the sister's throwing the party, and just go anyway.
Well, they said that we could go, but they told us such last minute. They actually told us, I think, the day before the party, and we live in Parkersburg, and she lives in Clarksburg. So it took arrangements for us to get us there, and I didn't have off work. Like, I had off the day that we had planned the party. It just didn't work out, and I think they did it on purpose because they knew that. And that's another thing. We've been drug testing twice a week since this case started. Well, my employer actually wrote a CPS worker and said, is there something we can do about this? Because she's having to leave 15 minutes early or whatnot. Is there another way? Is there like a patch or something? And they said, yeah, but we have to get it approved from the judge. So my employer took it upon herself and wrote a letter. She gave me a copy of it and sent it to whoever they told her to send it to. And I asked my attorney about it, and my attorney said, oh, yeah, it's still going through the channels. Well, that was like 3 months ago. I mean, I don't care. I'm still doing everything they told me to do because I'm not going to stop and give them any ammo against me. But I just feel like if we can't, how is she going to come home in a month and a half if we're still at 4 hours once a week?
How much of the stuff that you're doing is court ordered, and how much of the stuff that you're doing is CPS just said that you have to do?
Most of it's just CPS.
It's all CPS.
She doesn't have Schaefer for once.
So the court's ordered her to do
She
none of these
doesn't have
services?
Schaefer.
No, it's all CPS. Everything is what CPS said we have to do.
So a judge never ordered you to take drug tests? Never
I'm
ordered
not
you to
sure.
parenting classes?
Probably. I'd have to. I'm guaranteed he probably did order that. I don't. We went to court so long ago. I'm not going to sit here and say that they didn't order that because they probably 100% did order that. I would just have to go. Judge Wilson in Marion County.
Judge Wilson a lot of times doesn't order most things. He just sits there and approves for whatever CPS is doing.
Yeah, I talked to
people with Wilson.
I did talk to an attorney when I was trying to look for a paid attorney to see if I could get somebody to work with me. And when they asked me what judge I was going up in front of, and I told him it was Judge Wilson, he said, well, here's your problem with Judge Wilson. He said, you literally have to be beating your kids for him to take your kids from you. But he will drag a CPS case out as long as they want to drag it out.
Well, that's because they get paid.
Yeah, well, I'm not okay with that at this point. Like, my daughter's 3 and she knows what's going on. She knows when she comes to mommy and dad. Like, his sister, we video call her in the evening before bedtime. And like, his sister said because we live in a brick apartment building, that when she passes a brick, she'll say, that's mommy and daddy's house. We go to mommy and daddy. Like, she knows what's going on and she wants to come, and I want her home. And I don't know. I just don't know what else I can do to make I don't know. Like, I'm at a loss.
The first thing you have to do is fire your lawyer.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. I don't go back to court. Next time I go back to court is for the what do they call the disposition. It will be at the end of the case. We've only been in front of the judge. We've only been in front of the judge 3 times. When the case was opened, when they reissued this next 6 months, and it'll be at the end of this next 6 months. That's the only time.
Hold on. Stop. Why did they remove the child?
So they were, okay. So the initial case was they said domestic violence and drug abuse. Okay. So my fiance had a relapse, and when I was trying to get him help, which I was not strong enough to do at the time, I ended up relapsing. And we had a bed in rehab before CPS even got involved. His sister was taking our daughter. We literally had a bed in rehab the very next day. It was like maybe like a 4-day relapse or something. It wasn't like a continuous drug use. And the domestic violence, like I had a black eye, but it was not from him. I fell into so stupid, but I fell into the side of the hotel where the ledge sticks out, and it hit the corner of my eye and it blackened my eye. Now, there was a camera right above where that happened, and I kept telling them, because they kept saying he did it, and I was like, no, he didn't. You can pull. They would not pull the camera footage, and the hotel wouldn't pull the footage without the cops or whatever them wanting it. So nobody got charged with this. So when we went to court, I told him, I was like, I will 100% admit to, yes, we had those small relapse, so we'll do rehab, whatever we have to do. I said, I'm not admitting to the domestic violence. Well, then they said, well, you guys yell at each other. You guys argue. And I was like, everybody in America argues. And so they considered that domestic violence. So that's why we do the couples therapy.
Okay. So the Nicholson case can cover the domestic violence. There are Supreme Court and federal cases that say just because a parent uses drugs, that is not a reason to remove a child. So we got cases for that. Now, you said they want to TPR you. Why are they trying to TPR you?
I'm so sorry. What does that mean? What do you mean?
Did you say they're trying to
take my rights? I don't know. That's what they said before they gave me this next 6 months. That was when we were going to court, when the case was supposed to be over the last time, and I knew something was wrong, and I kept trying to call my lawyer, and he finally answered. I said, how can this case be over when they haven't moved the visits up? He said, well, they're trying to take your rights. And I said, for what? I said, we've done nothing wrong. I literally went to the drug testing place, got all of my drug tests from the very beginning. So I had a copy of all of them. I went to the therapist, my parenting lady. She said that she would go to court and say we hadn't missed anything. So I didn't understand what they were going on to terminate our rights. But then when we went, that lawyer quit. And then they just said that they were going to open another 6 months, which it was funny because one of the ladies stood up. I guess they hadn't talked about it with everybody, and she said, I thought this case was only going to be open for another 3 months to do the reunification. And the prosecutor and the CPS worker said, no, it's going to be another 6 months. So we went ahead and agreed with it because we didn't really have a choice. And so then we're like, okay, well, they're going to move the visits up.
Tyra, don't climb on that.
And they haven't moved the visits
Tiffany
up.
behind
So
you.
I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they feel like, I don't know. I feel like they're still going to try to terminate my rights when I go to court because they're not moving my visits up. But they have no reason. That's why I kept telling the lawyer, what reason are they giving you to terminate our rights? And he couldn't say anything. He said, well, we're going for an extension. And I said, I don't understand. We literally have done everything this case has asked us to do. Everything. We have not missed any. When we have missed a drug screen, I've messaged the CPS worker. She has sent an email and we went the very next day. So we don't have I don't know what they're basing on. I have no idea.
Missing a drug screen isn't a reason to terminate your rights as a parent. That's not a reason to terminate.
Well, that's the only thing that I could think of because we did miss a couple, but it was my work schedule. I couldn't get out of there in time. And so I messaged her as soon as I knew that. And she said, okay, I'll send an email. Now, granted, sometimes she would say, oh, I'm sorry, I just got to my phone. I'll send an email. It is like 2 days later. And I'm like, well, our callers called again anyways. There's no reason to send an email. But I did message her. I never went without letting her know, hey, I'm got to work over or something. And it's not like a weekly or even a monthly thing that's happened. It's only happened a couple times.
Well, I think
I'm giggling at chat.
I know, right? I mean, he thinks this is a trampoline.
Yeah.
So the first thing you need to do is go ahead and fire your lawyer. You need to get your case from them. Because I'm not understanding. See, this is why you don't cooperate, okay? Because at the end of the day, their goal is not to return your child.
Right.
I mean, it's right.
And the only thing I'm going to really say is read your federal laws. If you need me to send them to you again, I can do that again too. They're in Wicked Warriors though.
Yeah. Okay. You need to learn that. You need are the 154 cases on there too, Spanny?
I don't know, but I can pull them. I know we have them somewhere.
All right, you need to get those out and look at those. I'm gonna tell you right now.
No, she's done everything right.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, she's done everything right. What they're doing is they're just trying to make money at this point.
And who knows? Spanny, do you know if this judge likes to terminate rights or he just likes to drag it on?
He likes to drag it on. This is Bronya's judge we're talking about.
Well, it's not Schaefer.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah, Wilson's been known to drag stuff on. I mean, there's a few cases that have gone on over 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
With Wilson. Yeah.
My fiance actually lost his job because of having to do everything for CPS. His boss pulled him in the office and he told him before he started, but he told him, he said, this looks like it's never going to come to an end, man. And he's like, and I don't have people to cover these hours. I got to let you go. He found another job, but he told the CPS worker, I lost my job doing all this stuff you're asking me to do. And she basically said, well, is your daughter worth it? And he was like, I also have to be able to provide for my daughter.
Yep. Herbert, those babies don't go to bed when they're supposed to. Cairo likes to irritate her.
Yeah, that's an understatement. And
that's why I call them her grandgirls.
Right. You need to subpoena everybody.
Okay.
Everybody. You need to have your time sheet, get them from the corporate. The drug tests, you say you already have those, so that's good. Your parenting class, did you get a certificate? Did they still do certificates?
Not yet. We're still going on. Like she said, there's no reason to end it when this case is still going on. So we still meet with her every week too. And literally at this point, we sit and talk. We don't even do parenting. We sit and talk about what's going on in CPS. And she talks about how corrupt they are and how there's nothing we can do about it. So by the time she ends, by the time she leaves, I'm so frustrated. But we're still meeting with her every week too.
Oh, she better be glad she's not dealing with me, because her ass would be sitting on a witness stand repeating everything that she said.
She'll say, well, there's some things are just, you can't do anything about. I understand you're frustrated, and I understand, but what are you going to do? And I'm like, what do you mean? I was like, I want my kid home. Like, what do you mean? What am I going to do? And she's like, I send in good reports every week. You guys participate. I don't know. She's just, but we are at this point, we don't even really do parenting. She sits and talks. That's what she does.
Well, yeah, because for West Virginia, for some reason, the parenting classes have to keep going until CPS approves that you for either termination or either that or getting your kid home. The parenting classes there are different than the rest of the U.S. The rest of the U.S., you'd have had a certificate, and then you'd have to repeat the parenting class, and then get another certificate, and so forth.
Well,
I know some parents up here that have like five parenting certificates because they just have to keep repeating it.
Yeah, well, that's what I did. When I was in rehab, I took, because I already knew what they were trying to hit me with. I took an anger management class. I took a parenting class. I got all the certificates. I took them to court with me. The CPS worker made copies of them.
Did you get a domestic violence one?
Not domestic violence. They just offered anger management in the rehab, so I just took it for the certificate because they were saying domestic violence. And that was funny because she, my therapist was like, I can't tell her what you guys talk about. I just tell her that you're participating. Well, the CPS worker said, you guys need to be talking about domestic violence. Well, when I told my therapist that, she said, I think I'm the therapist and I can determine what needs to be talked about. We had hit you guys arguing in communication. She said, but there is no real domestic violence in this case. So
there isn't, but because CPS said there is, you should take a domestic violence class just to prove them wrong.
I will do that. I'm not objected to doing that. I will do anything.
I agree. I agree you don't need it, but at the same time, anything to shut them up.
Yeah. And then they also said, oh shoot, maybe lost track of what I was about to say. I forget. They've said so much I probably have not even shedded light on. It's just been a back and forth thing for over a year now. This case opened on November 13th of last year. So November 13th of this year was a year. So it's over a year now.
They have 24 months to prove that you need your rights terminated. So anytime before that, if they're trying to push that, that's illegal. Because you guys have showed everything that you can reunify with your kid. But on the other side of the things where I'm not family court, I'm Supreme Court really, to do stuff.
That's
I don't see a way to do Rule 60 yet. So what we're going to do is you're just going to get all the CPS records you can get, all your discoveries that you can get, all the court records that you can get, and just hold them for me.
Okay.
And in the meantime, while you're playing in family court, you are going to get everything you need. You're going to get all your subpoenas together. So you need the therapist, the parenting, whoever is teaching you that or whatever. You need to subpoena the people that can testify on your behalf.
Okay.
You're going to fire your lawyer.
Okay.
That's number one, because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know how many lawyers I fired.
Well, what about him? He can't even fire his lawyer because he don't know who his lawyer is. So, his lawyer's never even been present. We've never even spoke to him.
Well, you have to go down to the courthouse, and they will tell you who his lawyer is.
Yeah,
go to juvenile domestic.
He knows his name. I forget it. It's Michael something. I'm pretty sure, but he's called and left messages, and the CPS worker said she's called too.
You won't get a response from that one. You won't get a response from him. It's best just to have him email him and say fire. I'll get you his.
Yeah.
I'll get you his email address. You remember, I play in West Virginia so much that I got all this shit.
Okay.
That's Fanny's problem child. But while you're in family court, dependency court, whatever the fuck you want to call it, kangaroo court, you need to, I don't know if you can pull these papers offline. In Virginia, you can. But you're going to subpoena all those people, but you're going to do it 10 days before your court date.
Okay.
So whatever your court
West
date
Virginia
is.
West Virginia does have all the forms online. You just look up the West Virginia court system, you'll find them.
Okay. I will
And
do all
count
that.
back.
Or I can give you the link.
And count back 10 days. That day that you count back to, that's the day you're going to go file everything.
Okay.
Do not include Saturday and Sunday. They will not.
Yeah, don't include
Yes, her
Saturday and
lawyer
Sunday.
is my fault.
Okay.
Yeah,
One,
yes,
do all
Nicole,
that.
that's Michael Saffer-Rack, or however you pronounce his last name.
You are also, when you file those subpoenas, well, you got to do subpoenas earlier than that. They have to be served within 10 days. Do your subpoena 20 days before court comes out, because they have to be subpoenaed within 10 days of a court date.
Okay.
But on the 10th day, you file all your drug tests. You file all your evidence.
Okay.
You file it. Right? Because they're not going to file it because they're going to make you look like you didn't do shit.
Yeah, I feel like that's what they're doing anyway. So,
All your certificates, fuck CPS. Stop giving them shit. You file it.
Right.
And
And
again,
stop
yes, Nicole,
talking to
get rid
these
of Michael.
people.
They're not your friend.
I know they're not my friend. I mean, I've argued with them nonstop. It's just
Don't waste your time. Email
For
them
what?
from this point forward. Just email them. That's it. Email only. That way you have all
Yeah,
the
yeah, my new case that we were talking about yesterday, the main lawyer in that is Susie's fiance's lawyer, and she still hasn't heard from him. So I just told her, yeah, go ahead and fire him. Like, fire him? Yeah.
And the same thing for, is it your boyfriend or your husband?
he's my fiance.
Fiance.
It's her dad.
All right. And your fiance needs to do the same thing. Even though you subpoenaed them, you have him subpoena them too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And if they want to get rude and nasty, when you put them on the stand, you ask the judge if you can treat them as a hostile witness. And as a hostile witness, you can ask leading questions.
Okay, yeah, and that's it. I think it's thing is the CPS where she tries to lie, and like I told her in the middle of an MDT, and I think that's why they don't want me in the MDT, because I do speak up. Like when she'll say, "Well, they didn't," and I'm like, "Yes, we did," and she'll be like, "Well, I didn't hear," and I'm like, "Yes, you did." I would say, "I have all the messages between me and you, or all the 5 messages I've sent you, and then the one you answered 3 days later." I say,
Well,
"I
that's
have
great.
it all."
Because guess what? When you represent yourself, you can call that bitch to the stand and you can question her. And when she lies, you'll already have the proof. Because Fanny already told you. Print them out. Print the text messages. You got all the evidence. All you need to do is use it.
All right, I will get on doing all
Okay,
of that.
Cricket, are you in West Virginia, or where are you? I can tell you where to get them if I know which state you're in.
I'm in West Virginia.
I know where you are.
Oh, you're talking to somebody else. Sorry.
I know where you are, Susan. I was talking about Cricket. She's commenting, and I was just like,
Where's she at, Darren?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Just
South
go on their
Carolina.
website.
Yep.
Now, I know in Virginia it's $12 per subpoena, so you better find out the cost in West Virginia.
And Nicole, I need you to get with Tiffany after we get off of here, because she has some information for you that would help you. So, I can't completely talk about her case because it has to deal with a minor.
So can Susan go? Can she put together a motion to show cause at this point?
Well, it depends on what her original court order was. Now, if the judge ordered more visitation than once a week for 4 hours, then absolutely. You know what? I was
you need
thinking
to
about
get
that.
a blank notebook. Yeah, Susan needs to get a blank notebook and start writing questions down that you already know the answer to, but that they need to respond right to.
Okay. So can
That
I
way
get?
you have
I
them
can get
already.
all of those because I'm pretty sure my attorney never. He didn't. I know he didn't give me any of the original court papers. The attorney that left, but I can go through the courts and get all of those, right? And then I can find out everything that the judge ordered himself, besides what CPS is just telling me to do.
You need to email that lawyer that you had and ask him for all the discoveries, because once a month CPS is supposed to give them a discovery. And
Okay.
you need to get all those discoveries, because I guarantee there's a lot of lies in those. And with those lies, you can actually go up to the Supreme Court where I can play.
Okay.
Also, when you let the courts know that you're representing yourself, then you can turn around and subpoena CPS's records.
Oh, okay.
And they
Yeah,
have to give them to you unredacted.
Well, that's good to know, because this parenting lady, she was like, well, they just do what they want. And she was like, it's an unjust system, and some people it works for and some people it doesn't. And I was like, no, I'm not okay with that. So,
Well, the good thing for you is your state has a lot of issues with foster care and CPS in it. That's the good thing. You can always call the office of the attorney, of the inspector general, and file a complaint, because the inspector general in West Virginia is watching what's going on with CPS and foster care, because there's a lot of shit going down in West Virginia over your governor, Jim Justice.
Also, don't file any motions until Trump gets in office.
I'm sorry, until what?
Trump goes into office.
January 20th.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of shit coming down. Yeah, shit's coming down the road. And I'm telling you, these court systems are in for a real fucking shock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of all of our cases right now, we're telling them to hold off unless it's something extreme like guardianship that needs to be put in place immediately.
Emergencies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Which is
willing
what
to
Tiffany's
do
getting ready to
whatever I
help with.
have to do. I will do anything. I just want my kid home. So,
Well,
Do the older kids live with you guys?
there's what?
Does the older children live with you guys?
no, my oldest daughter has her own apartment with her boyfriend. She's in her second year of college. And my middle daughter is in her first year of college. One goes to Fairmont State and the other one goes to WVU.
If this goes south, what you can do is have your oldest daughter adopt your child. That way, she's where you can see her all the time.
Yeah,
Because you don't want foster care getting a hold of her.
Yeah, she
It'll be
is.
the
She is
quickest
with
way to get rid
family. She is with family
Yeah.
right now.
But I
mean,
can't
if-
guarantee that will stick if they terminate your rights, because she is a 3 to 4 year old child. Hi, house elf. Okay, so before Susan looks at me weird, one of my friends lives with me.
Huh?
Just jump in chat. Just jump in the chat.
You're breaking up.
Saying hi to her. It's not me. It's something else. I was saying the house elf jumped in chat. I was just saying hi to her.
Oh.
Well, I
Well,
can't see. Listen, I'm blind as a bat, and like that chat on the side is very small, so I can't see it without putting the camera right up in my face right at the moment.
don't feel bad. I'm blind as a bat too. So what is
that's
your
another
first
thing.
do?
Let me tell you this. So about a month and a half ago, I don't get any services because I make too much money, they say. I don't know how, but I do, to get Medicaid or anything like that. So they dropped my Medicaid. So I let CPS know. I said, you guys are wanting me to do this therapy. I need a card. My therapist wouldn't see me for a month because it took the CPS worker literally a month to get me the card. I told her, I said, you guys, I said, I haven't had therapy and it's your fault. I have all those messages too. And she said, oh, I'm so sorry. My supervisor approved it. I'm going to send it today. Well, 2 weeks later, I said, I still haven't gotten a card. So it took me a little over a month to get a card from her, and she emailed it and didn't let me know. I went through my emails and found it. And that's how I sent it to my therapist, and that's how I got therapy started back up.
Let me tell you something. Every system in the United States that is supposed to help people is actually setting people up to fail. That's just how it is. They don't want to help people. They would rather collect money and say, fuck the little person than help people who really need it.
Well, and I mean, I told my CPS worker, I said, that's fine. I don't get Medicaid. I can get insurance through my company, but it's going to take, I'm not doing it till after the first of the year because they told me the rates are going to be better. I said, and for this service that you're wanting me to do, I'm not paying out of pocket for it. So you're going to pay for it. So they sent me the card, but it took them like a month.
They're supposed to pay for all those services.
Anything CPS asks of you, they pay for, period.
They're supposed to legally. They try to get out of it.
Yeah, well, I told him I wasn't, and I didn't do therapy for like a month, but I have all the messages where I asked for the card as soon as I found out my Medicaid was going to be dropped, and all the messages between them. And then the CPS worker said, oh, I'm so sorry. I meant to send this a couple weeks ago. My supervisor approved it. Still didn't get it. Messaged her again. And then she said she sent it. And I went through my emails and found it. And I pulled it up and snapshotted it and sent it to my therapist through text messages and everything.
Failure of the caseworker supersedes the fault of the parent. So whenever a caseworker has an error like that, her error supersedes your error of not going. So just remember that.
The best thing to do also is never talk to your caseworker via phone. Always use text message or emails.
Yeah, I know that. I do always use text message. Also, we couldn't figure out, because so this case happened in November. We didn't even get into court until January. And we come to find out they lost a bunch of the paperwork in our case at the beginning of it. And then came back and then had us go to court when I guess they figured it out or found, I don't know. But yeah, we found that out through an attorney that they didn't understand why this case was still going on because they lost a bunch of the paperwork at the beginning of it.
Yeah, they do that. And yeah, it took Nita's, my house elf's caseworker, 4 years to pay for stuff that was supposed to be done. And then here they took her kid because it wasn't finished. So they terminated her parent rights, which means I already have the process. She's already going up the chain. Everything's already looking good on that end. I have to wait for that little thing of terminating parent rights before I get involved, or I have to wait for there to be enough heirs I can make it appeal up to Supreme Court. So right now I'm just sitting back, chilling, waiting for things.
I understand.
I already gave the right place stuff. Hi, Chris. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to do everything you guys said. I'm going to start petitioning or whoever I have to get everything that I need to get. So first thing I'm going to do is fire the attorney, and then I will start petitioning the courts for everything that I need and going through the things to do everything I need to do.
Make sure you tell the courts you are pro se.
Okay.
I will just do that handbook as soon as we get off here. You're going to have to shoot me your email because I'll just apply the federal laws and everything in one email.
Okay.
And there's a really good book on Amazon
Yes. It's called
that you
Stay
should
Calm.
buy.
Yes. Stay calm. CPS is coming. I'm going to tell you everything
Because
that you need to know about
it's got
this
some good information in it.
Okay.
stuff. Let me pull it up here for you.
Yeah, let him show you.
And right now, anybody that buys it, the proceeds go to North Carolina cause. So it's good. So the profits are going to a good place too. Let's see, there we go. Oh, perfect. It's the American version too.
Well, unfortunately, the holidays aren't done yet, so parents are still going to be reeling from a lot. And this is what I'm going to say. Anybody needs to get a hold of me Christmas Eve or Christmas because you guys are feeling really down, just call. I'll be available.
Yep. And there's also 988. If you can't get a hold of her, always 988. There's someone that will be there for you.
There's the book.
Okay. Okay. I'll definitely get it. Anything that'll help me, I'm definitely willing to do. Like I said, I've been doing everything. I thought that I was doing everything I was supposed to do, but I'm not getting anywhere. So now I'm going a different direction.
Yep. This is kind of outlines how we all talk and how we all feel here. Kind of give us just from that.
Cricket, you need the federal laws or the book.
What's that?
And Cricket was saying she needs it too. I was just trying to figure out if it was the federal laws or the book. Okay, anybody that needs the PDF for the pro se, I will put in Wicked Warriors. If you're not a member of Wicked Warriors, just go and hit join. I will approve it in a few minutes.
Yes. All right.
And listen to me. Nobody, I don't care who they are, nobody can talk about your case, represent you better than you.
Right.
I agree with that 100%.
That's a fact.
I usually talk over
And
the
advocates
attorney.
cannot. Yeah, and advocates cannot be your legal representation. There's somebody going around saying that we are legal representatives. Advocates are, and showing, advocate stuff, but we are not allowed to be a legal representation. Every judge will tell you that. We can give you information. We can show you how to do it. We can write it out for you, and all you have to do is speak it. But we cannot be a legal representative. So, if somebody tries to tell you guys that, just laugh in their face because it's not true. So Tiffany and I have all the laws saying that you are allowed to talk to an advocate. It is your legal right to talk to an advocate. A judge cannot gag order you and tell you that you're not allowed to talk to a legal advocate.
Well, I
That
agree
includes Schaefer and Wilson.
our own person or the best person to represent you. You don't know your case. Nobody knows your case better than you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very passionate about it anyways. I stand up and say what I need to say. Like, I will tell them, and I think that's why they try to keep me out of the MDT, because I let everybody know, hey, you're lying, and I've got things to prove you're lying, and this and that, and then they have to redirect what they're saying.
In an MDT, they're supposed to have an attorney general representative in there, an AG, that's supposed to be with every MDT. They don't always do it. But see if you can figure out who the MDT AG was and stick to them. Let them know. Show them that you tried to get into that MDT, but they said no.
Okay. Yeah, and that's not the first one. Like, that's not the first one they've done that to us. And I fight and fight and fight with them to get in, and then Like they'll let me into one, and then they'll let me into two, and then there'll be another two I won't be able to get into. And I let everybody know. Like I call the guardian ad litem, the secretary makes a note of it. I call the CPS office, and plus my CPS worker. I call my attorney. I let everybody know that's in that case that I'm trying to get into that meeting. And they just
Debbie, TFI does not have the right advocates you're looking for. Just to let you know.
So let me ask you a question. When they removed your child, did you insert your constitutional rights?
Nope.
You
She probably
cannot
didn't know
claim them
about them. A lot
now.
of people do.
You can't claim them now because, I mean, you can, but they're going to say it's under the law. It's called latches. But people need
you
to
can claim them
understand that.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can claim them in an appeal to go up to a higher court. But that's why I said I'm just waiting. I have another one on January 6th I have to help with, and yeah, I'm like really biffed. Chris, make sure you get a hold of me. I will talk to you about your cases or your case. I've been trying to get a hold of you.
All right. Well, I got to go put my jumping trampoline kid that was just out here.
That's right.
Yep, and I gotta go haul water.
I gotta go do something.
I gotta take my dog outside. She's whining.
You guys all have a good night, and I will be here with Tiffany tomorrow. I'm gonna try and be live unless something comes up emergency-wise.
Yeah, but Tiffany won't be here Christmas Eve. Say he's already breaking shit up. I will not be here Christmas Eve or Christmas night, but I will be back on Thursday. But I'll be here tomorrow.
Well, thank you guys for everything and all your advice, and I'm gonna get on it right away.
All right, do that. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Same time, same place tomorrow. Till then,
Bye.
They were to be something that stays. But now things are so corrupted, they're taking our rights away. Hey, Uncle Sam, where did you go? I called Washington today, but nobody's home. We all want to stand for our freedom, but nobody wants to do it today. Can't you see time is a waste and the Constitution we love is fading? Make no tread on the reality, or the USA will be the next casualty. We are here for freedom, those we will protect. Unite for the values we cherish, or watch everything perish. Our men have fought for our freedoms, many women have too. Their blood spilled upon the ground, with the news many frown. They paid a price that many won't pay. Now we are letting their cause fade away. The graves are being neglected by the actions of so many deceptive. The freedoms they fought for in every world war, conflict or mission, so many stayed behind signing petitions, while those away dying were there to protect them. It's time to wake up in the USA. We are all slipping away into the darkness we once ran from. It's getting worse every day. Now they are taking our children more and more every day. No soldier ever fought for, taking our children away. This is not why they bled for our freedom. They didn't die for some cheap pay. We all need to come together, fight this corruption, and it starts today. We need to wake up America, go back to parades, remember true family values, laugh again as children play.
Bye.